you didn't do what you thought you did. I always get so confused by this response when I talk about my gender and being genderqueer, and then the trolls come in, they say, you're a female. And I'm like, yeah. If you want to talk about my chromosomes and shit, yes, I was born female, but that has absolutely nothing to do with my gender, babes. So this isn't giving what you think it's giving.
Okay, so this is part 2 of characters that I think are transgender, but the world is just not ready for that conversation. Come on. Come on! You cannot tell me that Double D was not a trans boy. Like, this is a trans boy. Like, the girls that get it, and the girls that don't. Like, honestly, if you don't get it, you're just transphobic. This bitch. Now, they were either a trans woman or a non-binary trans femme, because I'm sorry, again, the girls that get it, and the girls that don't. And on that note, Garnet, non-binary. I don't care. I will not be taking further questions. This bitch from Regular Show. It's giving trans femme. It gave trans woman. You know what she looks like? She looks like the typical, like, lesbian trans girl. Like, look at the shirt and the shorts. Like, that's a lesbian trans girl. And she was probably just using Mordecai to fulfill her comp hat, like, the girls that gotta get it. Now, because I have T to spell on Mac from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. This is a trans boy. And he was an early transitioner. I think that was really captured with the fact that his imaginary friend was literally just the color blue. You can't tell me that that's not transcore. Like,
Surya Purya Pilibiri Buddha, Surya Purya Pilibiri Buddha, Surya Purya Pilibiri Buddha, Dubinta Paratata. Surya Purya Pilibiri Buddha, Surya Purya Pilibiri Buddha, Surya Purya Pilibiri Buddha, Dubinta Paratata.
So recently, one of my cis straight identifying friends, Bjorn, expressed to me his interest in femme presentation. Now, of course, Bjorn doesn't have the knowledge of cosmetics or the technical abilities with makeup to apply femme presentation himself, so I offered to paint him. So after many a conversation with him, I decided to paint a very soft, angelic femme face. So really, I'm just repeating the same steps that you've seen in previous videos. I will say though, a new obsession for me is cream blush. I think it makes such a difference on the face, honestly. Now, although Bjorn has beautifully smooth skin, I decided to go lighter with the powder products just because we were painting in natural daylight and I didn't want him to get caught up with the texture. So using Duo, I applied some pearls just to add a little bit of texture into the eye. I decided to reapply the moles that were covered through foundation as well. I just did some simple liner for the lash to sit on, of course mascara, and had a fiddle with tweezers trying to get these fuckers on. Now I hope he doesn't mind me saying, but Bjorn has the most beautiful natural lips. It's those South African genes for sure. And there you go, a cis straight male's first ever time in femme presentation. Gorge.
So, like, yeah, I'm bisexual, but I have a lot of internalized homophobia, and that makes me feel really invalidated when I actually date men, and so I try to present myself as gay as possible, and I call myself gay all the time, and, you know, it's just, like, this really big con.
Hot take, I'm a trans-masculine person. I hate the word partner. It makes me think of a straight Canadian couple. Frankly, I would love to be someone's girlfriend, but we're only allowed to say that to one another. When we're around cis people, I'm boyfriend. But when we're together, when we're not around baby girl. Girlfriend, gorgeous, gorgeous girl. I'll be a mommy and I'll be a daddy. Like, there's so many words that I like. I just don't like when cis people use them for me. Yeah?
It's the girl that leaves you to rot. She says, I am real and you are not. She says, I am real.
Let's talk about the Boondocks, specifically their black archetypes and how it helps them move through the white world that they're entering into. Huey, he's of course the pro-black activist, and he especially sees everything that's wrong with the systems that have been put in place. He sees and looks for how racism impacts the current state of the world today and the political and social atmosphere that he's been put into. While he's politically conscientious and open-minded, he doesn't really give much thought to black culture. Because he heavily focuses on black trauma, oppression, and slavery, he doesn't really give any thought to how we as a culture have built ourselves up. He doesn't really care about the fashion, the music, and where it came from. He as a character hardly ever experiences black joy. Trying to counter the oppression that he is facing by being hyper aware of it ironically puts him in exactly the mindset that they wanted us in. It keeps him oppressed. As opposed to Riley, who is on the surface level a pro-black culturalist who I'll get into in the next video.
As a deaf person, what is the one thing I wish hearing people understood? Recently, I was having a conversation with my therapist, who's a hearing person, and I was expressing my frustration about how many artistic spaces are not accessible to me. And her first instinct was to ask if I wore hearing aids, and I said, nope, ears bald. And then she asked if I've ever considered a cochlear implant, which, if you're unfamiliar, is a pretty serious surgery, and I had to stop her. Because when hearing people and able-bodied people are faced with the reality of the inaccessible world that they have helped to create, their first instinct is always to try and fix the deaf or disabled person. I am not broken. My ears are not broken. My body is not broken just because it doesn't function the same way yours does. We are only disabled because you have told us we are disabled. We are only disabled because you built a world for you, not for us. Why should I have to change myself when we can simply change the world?
That Brooklyn bullshit, we on it.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake.
Hey, can you hold this for me? I'll be right back. No. Oh, sorry. I'm just joking, give it. Hey, what's so funny? I just love the way medulla oblongata sounds, you know? Totally. Yeah, like, you're medulla oblongata. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna use the restroom, I'll be right back. Okay, have fun, and don't fall in. Dude. Damn, dude, I don't know about you, but that dance class has me dead. Yeah, like, deader than my mom. Oh my god. I'm sorry, are you okay? Yeah, I'm totally fine, why wouldn't I be? You just made a joke about your dead mom, bro. Oh, that's how I cope.
Public service announcement. No one white is ever allowed to tell me that violence isn't the answer. not when white culture, not when slave-based capitalism, not when America, not when colonialism, not when white supremacy are run off of violence, not when your white privilege is defended and protected by violence. Stay all the way out of black business. Stay all the way out of indigenous business. Stay all the way out of marginalized business. Stay all the way out of my fucking business with that one. Stay out of the way with that one. And shut the entire fuck up. Shut up. Now you go on and have the day you deserve. Have the day you motherfucking deserve. Ha!
Why do y'all hate black people who grew up with money? Let me make one thing clear. I grew up in a $500,000 house. I went to private school. I graduated from one of the top universities in the country. My job, you couldn't get it if you wanted to. My car note is more than your rent, no cosign.
Black people don't dislike you because you have money. They dislike you because you're an asshole. And I say that because I used to be you. Why don't black people like me? It must be because I have more money than them, or because I had a private education, or because I actually speak properly. And sure, any group of people or peoples will have haters who dislike you for petty, jealous reasons, but they aren't the majority. Not to mention, black luxury and black education thrives on social media, especially as of late. It's incredibly celebrated. However, people aren't going to celebrate someone who speaks down to them in earnest. In fact, it sounds like you've done a lot of what you're asking others not to do. Make blackness synonymous with uneducated and poor, and then are attempting to separate yourself from that falsehood. And the tone of your video, if intending to help people, didn't come across that way. Condescension as a bit only works if the audience is in on the joke. And this is coming from someone who could probably out-condescend and spend you on my worst day. I'm kidding, don't worry. I don't do pissing contests anymore. I've grown up and realized the constant urge to declare one's economic status often comes from an insecurity of feeling lacking in value without such. Though wrapped in haughty diatribe, your statement brought up a good point. Black people are not a monolith, and we should never be made to feel like blackness is something that has to be earned, especially by our proximity to violence, poverty, incarceration, the way we speak, or any other stereotype. In fact, black luxury content seems like a great way to start course-correcting all of those stereotypes. Black people should be taught to romanticize and idolize the concept of living well, living softly, being educated, etc. The same way, or instead of, negative traits are idolized in many forms of media. I close out this video by saying, you requested people not tone police you in the comments. I don't give a shit about your tone. Say, do, dress, act, speak however you like. But it is you who asked why your content or personality was being rejected by the black community, so to speak. And if I had to guess, I'd say tact and tone.
And you'll be a goner. I'll pull in Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh my god. Oh my god, thank you so much. Oh my god. Thank you.